Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
But when you have to spend half your day putting out phony stories, obviously it becomes a distraction.
Paris, what do you think?
I think this is fake news. This is not a news story. I think this is fake news.
But first, phony stories and fake news. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points.
Hello all, welcome to my channel. So today I've got a video about something that's been in the news and everywhere in the last year or so. Fake news. So this video is dedicated to fake news and education about helping fake news, because it's just become such a big problem. It's everywhere, it's all over the headlines. Everyone wants to talk about it. Everyone says it's just causing so many problems. And so I just wanted to kind of come over here and let you know a little bit and talk a little bit about fake news. So first thing, fake news has been around forever. It's nothing new. It's not going away. I mean, gossip sells, and so does conspiracy theories and all these things. People eat it up, and they're just going to keep using it and keep reading it and being amused by it over and over. It's nothing new. Like when you used to go to the grocery store, I mean, you still do it today, you see magazines on your left and your right as you're checking out as you go to the grocery store. These are tabloid and gossip magazines, and these are what started fake news. I mean, these are crazy stories, crazy magazines that just have all kinds of headlines there to sell magazines, to sell these little newspapers. I mean, they had things about UFOs, JFK, aliens landing. I mean, all kinds of conspiracy theories running wild to help sell their magazines. A lot of stuff about celebrity gossip, who's marrying what, what's going on, things like that. I mean, these magazines, they just didn't stop. National Enquirer, World News, they're still there today selling magazines off of gossip. And I really love them. I mean, if you want a little bit of an example, I love the Men in Black movie. So let's go ahead and show you a quick little example and check the hot sheets real quick.
Let me check the hot sheets.
These are the hot sheets? Best investigative reporting on the planet.
Go ahead, read the New York Times if you want to. They get lucky sometimes. Thanks, Manny.
Then I believe you're looking for tips in the supermarket tabloids.
Not looking for.
Found.
So I really love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, I love it. But I mean, people really believe that. Really believe that those tabloid and gossip magazines were real, and they had a lot of true articles. And they did. They weren't all fake. They did have a lot of them. A lot of the true stuff is really about celebrities. I mean, these magazines, they've dished out, like, paid for stories, for pictures, for videos, for whatever they can get for information about celebrities and other inside information. They've paid over $3 billion to gain this information and inside access to celebrities. I mean, you gotta remember, when Lindsay Lohan was in arraignment for her deaths, there's 150 reporters just outside the courthouse videotaping Lindsay Lohan. I mean, gossip is big money, big money. I mean, $2 million Los Angeles went to the deputy coroner, $2 million, for Ed Winter said was offered for photos of Michael Jackson's body. You know, he was the medical examiner, had to do an autopsy on Michael Jackson's body. He was offered $2 million for someone to give him photographs of it. Big money. I mean, you got to remember that. Kate plus 8 with John and Kate plus 8. Just the dad, who's not even the main guy. He's just a dad, you know. Kate's really the star of the store. He makes $365,000 from that reality TV show. It's just insane how much they pay for this money. So you got to think about that. Like, people are screaming about all these inside leaks going on for this secretive and classified information. You got to remember, these media, they pay big money for these stories. So yes, they are going to have leaks, and it's going to be really tough for them to do it because they just pay so much money for that stuff. And it's the same now with these CNN and Fox News and all these outlets. They have these crazy anonymous ways for people to provide inside information, for provide these leaks. So these people can totally, from the CIA, FBI, can totally provide anonymous information to our media where no one can really track it because it's just using backdoor web traffic, and they're just going to do it anonymously and just going to keep dropping this information. So they just keep adding it on. So you got to watch out. These people pay big money for these information and these gossip realities. So what's happened though now is it's gone from these print and these newspapers to online, because social media is expanding exponentially while print is slowly going away. I mean, there's so many forms of new technology that's just going to keep driving the dollars away from print, so everyone's going for social media. Now the problem with that is that it's easy to make a website. Anyone can make a website, especially if you're really good at it. You can get a kid that's in high school that's just learned how to make a website. He can go out and make a great professional website that looks like anything else out there, and you can't even tell it's not a real fake, a real website, because they've done such a great job that it looks totally professional. So then what they do is they just go on your social media and they're just going to spread all their fake news and their gossip and what they think is real to help make money off of their website. So they are going to keep running wild. These guys are just awesome about it. They really try to figure out how to do it, and a lot of it is people in their basements, these kids. They just got nothing to do, and they are really good about making websites and driving traffic to it to make money off of it, make money off these fake gossip websites. I mean, a lot of it comes on to Facebook, because that's one of the #1 social media platforms out there. So, of course, there's been a lot of really crazy headlines that have gone through your Facebook feed. I mean, Obama signs executive order banning the Pledge of Allegiance in schools nationwide. That was a big one. Got a lot of big hits there. Got 2,177,000 kind of Facebook clicks, emotions, likes, shares, things like that. Big one. Another big one was Pope Francis shocks world, endorses Donald Trump for president. Didn't happen, but it was fake news, and a lot of people really believed it. I mean, a lot of people really believed the other one about Obama signs executive order. I mean, these fake news have gotten really good, and they've gotten really great about just getting you and making sure you click on their websites. I mean, here's another one. Trump offering free one-way tickets to Africa and Mexico for those who want to leave America. That one I think's funny. I think that's pretty funny. FBI agents suspecting Hillary email leaks found dead in apparent murder-suicide. Rage Against the Machine, I really like this band, so fortunate they made this little Facebook gossip going around with these fake news. And so Rage Against the Machine to reunite and release anti-Donald Trump album. I mean, that's a whole other thing about these celebrities going against Trump. It just really upsets me. So hopefully, celebrities will catch on and they'll stop preaching all this hate against our new President Trump and just kind of start jumping on board and trying to help support him and help him steer this country in the right direction without all this craziness going on out there, and just make it more civil and stop just preaching the hate. Some more, Donald Trump sent his own plane to transport 200 stranded Marines. Now, this one got a lot of news coverage because people just really went through the fact checkers on this one. And what happened is in May 2016, a syndicated talk show radio host, Sean Hannity, aired an item claiming that Donald Trump had sent a plane to give 200 stranded U.S. Marines a much-needed ride home with Operation Desert Storm in 1991. So yeah, there's been a lot of fact checkers. A lot of people gone through looking at this. For what everyone can tell, it's not true. I mean, but there is. That's a lot of these stories have. There's a lot of murkiness, a lot of cloudiness. So, I mean, there is some truth to it to help sell the fake part about it. So, when you look into it, it was about a Corporal Ryan Signey said that 200 of his Marines were fellow Marines. They were stuck and they needed help. So the one thing that is true about this is Donald Trump did have a contract with the government at the time to transport soldiers in the U.S. only, not outside the U.S., which helps kind of make this not so feasible. But then also at the same time, Trump was going through some financial issues, which would have made it very hard for him to send his plane across the ocean to help these soldiers out. And not just on top of that, if you look at the picture, it's not Trump's private plane, because everyone recognizes now that. It's everywhere. This was from a private shuttle company that Donald Trump was trying to open up back then, where he was trying to shuttle, start his own little U.S. airline. So this is one of his Trump shuttle planes that would just operate in the United States. So most likely it's not even equipped to do a long-range flight across the ocean. So, I mean, there were plenty of them. Here was another one about the FBI director. He got a lot of heat, James Comey, on this one. I mean, everyone says he tried to help Trump, but then there's also so much that says he was helping Clinton. I mean, it was like really back and forth, back and forth. So one of the big headlines that went back and forth was FBI director received millions from Clinton Foundation. His brother's law firm does Clinton taxes. So, I mean, it is true. They did have their taxes done with this director's brother. So, I mean, that is some truth in it. Like I said, there's always some truth in these things that happen that help spread this. Because a little bit of the truth is what they could help, hide the rest of it around. So, James Comey has worked for some organizations that have donated or partnered with the Clinton Foundation, but he's never really been any proof that he's benefited from these relationships with the Clinton Foundation, which is kind of ironic because supposedly, with Comey releasing his letter right there a week before the election that everyone says was helping Donald Trump and hurting Hillary Clinton, when there was so much going before that happened, talking about how James Comey was in the Clinton's foundation. That's why they weren't doing the crazy enough FBI investigation they did on the emails, because he was in their pocket. And this is like a lot of what this was going around was that he was in their pocket. And so, I mean, this one started in September 2016, and it was started by the Brett Burt website. And of course, they, like any gossip tabloid magazine, they start out with a little bit of truth and spread it from there on. So, another one, fun times. So here's another touchy subject that I find that I kind of was really going on, like a lot right there a couple months before the election happened, was about Trump groping women. And one of the headlines that was going around, that was a big fake one going around, was RuPaul claims Trump touched him inappropriately in the 90s. Okay, so, yeah. So let's see. So what happened is, in 1995, famous drag queen RuPaul claimed he was at a party. He was doing exclusive Hollywood Inquirer, and he said that Donald Trump made a move on him because he was coming out of the bathroom dressed in his full drag queen apparel. And Donald Trump thought he was a woman and tried to make a move on him, and supposedly grabbed his ass and pulled my dress up to grab my genitals. He suddenly became very angry and started cursing and yelling when he found out he was packing something extra down there. So, but this one really kind of driving me crazy because, there was all these women that also talked about this that were coming out against him. And so now suddenly we don't hear about all this crazy media. There was just so much things going on about him being groped and Trump groping all these women, but we don't have any of that going on right now. It's all disappeared now that elections are over, it's gone. We don't have all these crazy headlines about that going on right now. So it makes me think that a lot of that could have been some fake news. That was more gossip, scandalous, trying to sell tabloid headlines, and fake news, that's worse. Now, one of the biggest ones of that made it all last year was Pizzagate. Now, that was a big one last year. That one went out crazy and went wild. So I don't know if you totally are up to speed on this, but basically, after WikiLeaks released a lot of the emails that they found, most of them pertaining from Podesta's email server, and so when all these emails got released, A lot of people were going through them. A lot of them were combing through them, trying to find out what they could. So what a lot of people put together was, this started out on Reddit and went wild, was that there was a crazy sex scandal going on here with this Comet Pizzeria. Because this pizzeria is a place that Obama and Hillary Clinton have had fundraisers there because of Podesta. And then Tony Podesta's own brother has had his birthday party there. And many people, now this pizzeria, it's kind of a really shady place if you read and look at the picture. You know, it's a little dive pizzeria. And if you look at the photos, it's got hidden bathroom doors and creepy murals. And, you know, it's got crazy murals of a woman and graffiti relating to sex. And so it's just kind of all kinds of crazy. The music acts and a poster promoting some acts are bizarre in their presentation, content, and lyrical focus. So this is just crazy stuff went on there. Supposedly there was a whole bunch of sex scandal there with pedophilia and all kinds of crazy shit going on. So these articles are running wild with headlines all over the place that's going off about Pizzagate. So what happened is, this 28-year-old guy, he went into this pizzeria and he took an assault rifle. And he waited till everyone kind of left. Like he pointed the rifle at the front desk lady, she left. Then he kind of waited till everyone cleared out, and then that's when he opened fire. No one was really hurt, no one was murdered, but he did open fire, shots were fired, and he just kind of chased everyone out, and then said he went there because they're reading all these articles. So now, what makes these headlines so dangerous is it's, as print slowly faded away, and everyone's going to social media now to get their information. What alarming is a lot of people, there was a study last done by Pew Research Center, and basically what they said is that social media is where 67% of people are getting their information from social media. That's from overall social media. That's where 67% of people get their news from. But now 44% of those people get their news from Facebook. So, a majority of it is from Facebook. So that's what makes it so alarming, is people going through their feeds and they're seeing all these Facebook pop-ups in their news feed about these fake stories. Well, that's, can make a big problem, because that's where people are going to think it's real, because it's where they get a lot of their information from now. So how do you stop all these fake news stories and these tabloid headlines and these gossip run wild? And it's really tough, especially, since social media is getting hotter, print's dying. Like I said, Facebook took a lot of big heat here, because, a lot of these headlines are coming off of it. Facebook has 1.79 billion users worldwide. So Facebook took a lot of heat for not supposedly policing all these fake headlines during your Facebook news. So people really want Facebook to crack down and start policing, pretty much kind of censoring these news in your news feed. So, big old censorship there going on that they're trying to help hide. So Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want to totally go and just squash out these articles. So he's outlined 7 projects that he wants to help, stop this, because, he has 1.79 billion users worldwide, and with 44% of them getting their information online from Facebook, he's got to really try and help stop something. So he's outlined 7 projects that he thinks will help stop this. One thing is he wants to improve the detection of them. So they're going to do a lot of back-end work, some work with their algorithms, to help detect these fake news articles, these gossip headlines, and detect them first. He hasn't really said anything about why. He just wants to improve detection first to help find them, detect them, and point them out and do what he needs to do with them. So then what they also want to do is they want to make it easier for users to report false news. So then on your news sites and different little feeds, he's going to have little buttons and things that say that you can report this article as fake or gossip or whatever they're going to have as their choices. He wants to use third-party verification more. He's going to go to sites like Snopes, PolyFact, use them to help verify this information to make sure it is correct in their Facebook feed, and if they need to remove it or tag it, which brings us to where, if it does show up with all this detection and back-end checking and third-party verification, if they find out it is totally fake, they're going to label it. They're going to put a big false, or this article has been deemed not true by these sites and different things like that. So you're going to get some type of label to help warn you about it. He's also going to work on ensuring quality news appears in Facebook's news section. Make sure their quality of news is better for more reportable big mainstream media to help push, the news through Facebook more, to help, get more access to them. He's going to crack down on ads with misinformation. So this is the same thing. A lot of people are really talking about this right now. It's cracking down the ads. So Facebook's a little bit easier to crack down on the ads because they're inside their own little app, so they don't have to worry about other websites really posting Facebook ads as much. But Facebook ads is where they're going to try. When they've detected these ads, they might just take away their ads, so you can't have much ads. But that doesn't really help too much with Facebook, because most of the time people click on a link and they're going to end up in another website or some third-party place, and they're actually leaving the Facebook application. So it doesn't really help too much with those ads. But there's a lot of ads on Facebook, but it's kind of tough to remove those from these fake websites because they're more in your app itself, inside the news feeds and the sites. So you'd have to not be in the news feed to not see the ads. So then they're also going to work with journalists to help develop. They're going to use the journalist backend, because journalists have developed a lot of different backends. They're going to use those to help check more of their information. So what I'd like to do is let you take a look at this little video that I have here. So this video is by thescene.com. It's at Watch Wired. Here's how fake news works and how the internet can stop it, say video. And it was a Wired magazine video that's on thescene.com. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, so kind of hope you like that video, because it kind of gives you a little bit more visual representation of what's going on here. So like I said, it's easier said than done to try and stop these websites, to stop this fake news, because it's everywhere and it's going all over the place. Like Wired magazine wants to try and pull their ad funding, but that's not going to help very much, because there's many other companies. So even if Google Ads stops serving, which is Google Ads is one of the biggest, go to a website, you have those ads around you. Google Ads is one of the biggest, supplier of those ads on websites. So, but there's many other organizations, other companies that would love to be able to take Google's place. So if Google stops serving ads at these websites, there's several other companies that are just going to jump in line to try and put their ads there. So it's not like that's not going to really solve the problem. There's always going to be someone who wants to put ads. And then another thing is, there's some companies that do want to advertise on these fake news sites because they know people are going to there and they're getting a lot of traffic. So they don't mind that you're on a fake news site because they know they're an advertisement, and maybe you'll click on their ad, then you go from there. Because obviously you like to read ads and you like to click on the internet, so maybe you'll click their ad then. So, there's a lot of people that focus their ads on those type of sites. So it's really hard to pull the funding from them because they're just not going to do it. So, it's just so tough. There's so many people that can make a website now and pop it out. You got these kids, like the video said, this 18-year-old kid could pop up a website. He's making more money than probably his entire city's making there. And this is happening. These fake news sites aren't just coming from Macedonia. They're coming from many South Americas, Brazil, even Central America, Venezuela. So a lot of people thought a lot of this is coming from Russia, but it's not just Russia. Russia does have some of the fake news coming from there, but a lot of that is just traffic being redirected, because you can make a VPN anywhere in the world and redirect your traffic through there. So a lot of that's just being redirected through Russia, because Russia just has open servers and lets a lot of traffic be redirected to their country. So yeah, it's really hard to isolate it totally to Russia. So Russia didn't hack our election polls. Russia didn't really do as much as what the media has pictured it as this big meddler in our elections. Because what Russia did is, there was already all these websites out there, all these fake news going on, these gossip tabloids. So all Russia did is, there was already plenty of money being made out there. All they did is they just used their huge Russia propaganda machine, and they just started helping push those articles more and more out into the world. They just helped spread it more, help feed it out there to help spread it. So of course, those people loved it because they got a lot more traffic to their site, because Russia helped use their propaganda machine to help spread these fake news. It's pretty much really the only thing that Russia has been picked on as that proof that they've done, is they've just helped spread this fake news. So that's really the biggest thing they've done. And that was already there. It wasn't anything new. They were already there. They just helped spray a little bit more. So, it's tough to get rid of. And then, that brings us to the next question. Well, just take the sites down. Well, you can't just take them down because there is still called a thing of freedom of speech. So it's still really tough, and it's a really gray area with the digital world. And, our courts are fine trying to start to catch up to the digital world, but it's a mess. They just didn't progress fast enough to catch up with the digital area because the way old school business used to work is things would double, triple, quadruple slowly. There wasn't no crazy boom, but the way the internet works, things is more exponential. When something starts multiplying on the internet, it doesn't double. It goes exponentially times 8 to the 16th power to the 32th power. It goes up and just doubles and triples exponentially, much higher numbers. So it's spreading faster, and our course and our systems hasn't caught up to this crazy digital boom we're having. So what happened is in 2003, the Supreme Court ruled it's okay to burn a flag. You can burn a flag right here, and you can't do anything about it. But if I take a cross and use it to try and intimidate someone or to threaten someone to burn that cross to show some type of threat, then yes, that can get me in trouble. So it's really tough. Freedom of speech is really tough. You can't just start ripping off these websites because they're going to go to courts and it's going to turn into a huge court battle. So, it's tough, and so that's what brings us to, with freedom of speech. That also provides other sites like InfoWars and Drudge and Breitbart, because these are sites that are like gossip and tabloid magazines. They go out and they have their own reporters. They go out and they look for information. A lot of it is sometimes truth that they kind of fog over. They help cloud up, conspiracize it. But, you can't take them down. Alex Jones is really big. He was a huge radio talk show that's really took off in the digital world, and he's doing amazing. He's got tons of followers, and he's got some really good stuff out there. So it's really tough to take these sites down because they're just very conservative sites that have a little bit of gossip, like the gossip tabloids. They're not totally fake. They're just kind of a gray area. And it's not just these sites. Other sites have ran fake news. CNN accidentally ran a fake story that BuzzFeed ran about a Russian dossier that supposedly Russia had about Trump. This went wild. Supposedly it's there, it's not. There's still so much media that we don't really know what's true. But CNN ran it. They didn't have enough facts yet. They ran it. They had to recoil back some of what they had ran, blamed it on BuzzFeed, even though they didn't do their checks first before they ran it live. This isn't the first time CNN's ran something fake, so they do. With the rush to make this digital era, to try and be the first one out there, to be the first one with information, these media sites are going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to run some fake stories and then have to recall them back later because they're trying to be first. They want to try to be the number one thing, the number one site to have it. And don't forget, a lot of these big media sites are going to be more biased. They're going to be a lot more left-wing because you've got to remember, journalists by heart, by nature, are a much more liberal bunch. So you got to think, most of your media stations are going to be very liberal because journalism is a more liberal field. And so that's why it makes it, and that's why they're going to label InfoWars and Breitbart more of those right-alt conspiracy theory sites because they're both on the extreme end of the spectrum. So you just got to remember, CNN, it's not a fake news site, but they are very biased. They are going to be very left-in, liberal as much as they can. And CNN and organizations like them aren't the only ones that make mistakes and run fake stories sometimes. And our own politicians get a lot of the facts wrong sometimes. Just recently here, Nancy Pelosi and Elijah Cummings, they ran with this whole fake Twitter, because Twitter is another huge social platform. Some people do get their information from Twitter, not as many as Facebook, but there's a lot of information sharing on Twitter also. So what happened is there was a fake Flynn account about General Flynn. So when General Flynn was let go from the White House, this fake Flynn account made a couple tweets saying, while I accept full responsibility for my actions, I feel it's unfair that I have been made the sole scapegoat for what happened. But if a scapegoat is needed, I'll gladly take it for this administration so they can keep moving this great nation forward. Kind of paraphrase or read it real quick, but It's kind of around that area. So basically, Nancy Pelosi and Elijah Cummings, they went on live TV and they were talking about these tweets that were fake because they were rushing to try and just criticize and just get on the media so fast to just protest President Trump that they didn't even look at what they're doing. They let their emotions get so wild, and they just went out there and just didn't really fact check themselves. And so that's what brings me to how we can stop fake news. Because the only way to stop fake news is to educate people. So we got to educate the people. And just like how I was talking about Nancy Pelosi and Cummings getting so worked up, the only way we're going to be able to do this is we got to educate people. So first thing you got to talk to yourself when you see some headline or some Twitter account or some Facebook feed that just gets you so worked up, because that's what these fake sites want. They want to prey on your emotions. They want to prey it. They want to get you worked up. They want to get you worked up like Nancy Pelosi and just rush out there on live TV and start going off on something that they didn't really read all the way. They just got trigger happy and just ran out there and started talking about this. So that's the number one way that these sites, fake news, they want to just work your emotions up. They want to just get you all raged up. So just calm down. Just think about it. Be like, take a little peace. Think about it and remember that, oh yeah, this site's probably just trying to work me up and get me click happy, because basically they're trying to work you up so much, because what they want to do is they want you to click on that site. They want you to click and click and click on their site. So as soon as you click on their site, the second way that you can tell is you're going to get hit up with all these pop-ups. You're going to get pop-ups all over you. Pop-up, 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 pop-up. Because they want you to get worked up with your emotions so that when you click on that site, you're not seeing what you're doing. You're just trying to click to read that. You just want to read that article. That's all you want to do is you just want to scroll through there. So they're just going to keep filling you up with those pop-ups. So that way, you're just trying to scroll, but you're just clicking on these pop-ups, trying to get them. You're just clicking them, Xing them out. And you're just making these fake news sites so much money because now they're just racking in. So that's an easy way to tell if you're on a fake news site. If it's a crazy number of pop-ups or advertisement on it, most likely it's a fake site, and they're just trying to stir up the emotion, so you'll click on them. Another thing you got to do is you got to look at the URL. When you look at the URL, that'll tell you a lot about these websites, because what happened is there was a big fake one going on that had abcnews.com.co. So you know it's abcnews.com.co. .co is a domain name for Colombia. So basically, whenever you were typing in that URL, you're hitting the Colombian name servers, then coming back to the USA to kind of redirect the traffic there. So those sites have to be located. Those domain names have to come from Colombia. So it's a fake domain name. You got to look at the URL and realize that that's what a lot of them are going to do, is they're going to prey on your URLs you're used to and add a little extra to make you think it's really that real site when it's not. It's a fake site. So pay attention to your URL, because that'll really help you. If you see .co at the end, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be some fake site, because you're not in Colombia and you're not trying to look at no Colombia website. So just remember, .co 9 out of 10 times is going to be a fake URL. Look on the website for About Us section. Do they have some type of tab that talks about what type of organization is this? Do they tell you what's going on inside their walls? Do they let you know who they are? Do they have pictures of staff? Things like that, because that's a big thing. It's really hard to fake an About Us section. That really takes a lot more creative thought. And, you know, they really got to think about that. So just popping up this fake website, which is so much easier to start handling these fake news. The About Us section takes a little bit more thought, a little bit more creativity to come up with. So look for an About Us section. See if they're talking about anything on there. Look for quotes in their story, especially if it's a politician or elected official, because anytime elected officials say anything, it's on their record somewhere. They have to keep all their documents, and that's why Hillary Clinton got so much trouble with her private email use and all that, because all those emails have to be documented. Even right now, they're talking with President Donald Trump about all of his tweets and everything he's done. All those tweets have to be documented. Everything has to be documented that elected officials use. So if there's some type of quote by an elected official, that's very easy to fact check. So just make sure you look and see who's saying the quotes inside this article. And then you can always go to sites like Snopes.com, factcheck.org, because they are the biggest ones right now that are really leading the pack. They've got a big organizations behind that really help put a lot of manpower, a lot of computer power behind them. to check these sites and make sure everything is up and up. So, and the last thing, I mean, just Google it. If the site is drawing at your emotion, it's making you feel like you're going to get worked up, just Google it. Because a lot of times when you Google it and you see the top 10 hits say it's fake, then most likely it's fake. Very, very most likely it's fake. So just Google everything. That's the biggest thing I can say at the end of this video. Is if it looks fake to you or you're not sure, just Google it. Google will help you out with everything. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you try and watch out for those fake news sites. They're really going to prey on your emotions. Really try and get you click happy. So just stay safe out there on the internet and have a nice day. Thank you.